Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel AgriAddict. As you all know, we are providing online courses for 4 major subject groups including plant science, physical science, agronomy and entomology, and complete mock test bundle for 6 major subject groups including plant science, physical science, agronomy, entomology, horticulture as well as social sciences, which will be really helpful for your competitive examinations preparations including ICAR, JRF, SRF, CUET, IBPS and other agriculture state related examinations. So as we have decided, we will be discussing the previous year question papers of the ICAR JRF question paper. So far we have discussed the question paper of 2023 shift 1, and we will be discussing the question paper of 2021 of social sciences today, and I will be dealing with the questions regarding the agricultural economics. So before starting, let me introduce myself. I am Ajay Anto. I have completed my undergraduation from College of Agriculture, Padanakad, Kerala Agricultural University. I did my masters in the subject of agricultural economics from College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar, PG2021, Hyderabad. And currently I am pursuing my PhD in the same subject in Indian Agriculture Research Institute, New Delhi. The year of 2021, I have secured All India rank 27th in the ICAR JRF examination. And in the year of 2023, I have secured All India rank 4 in the ICAR SRF examination, and I have qualified ASRB net in the same year. So we shall start our question discussion. The first question is, what was the contribution of the agriculture sector in India's gross value added at the current prices during the year of 2019-20? And during the financial year of 2019-20, the contribution of the agriculture towards the India's gross value added was recorded 17.8%, so that the answer 2 will be the correct answer. So we shall check the contribution of the agriculture sector in the previous years also. In 2019-20 it was 17.8%. In the year of 2020-21 we will find the contribution of agriculture to India's gross value added as 20.3%. And in the year of 2021-22 the value was reduced to 19%, and in the last 2 years, 2022-23, it was found that the contribution of agriculture to India's GVA was again reduced to 18.3%. So please try to update the values regarding the contribution of agriculture sector, primary sector, secondary sector as well as tertiary sector contributions to the India's gross value added, both in current prices as well as in the constant prices. Okay, so the next question. Yes, the next question is from statistics. The question goes like this: if beta hat value is greater than 2 standard error of beta hat value, then what should we do? Here the options are like whether we have to reject or accept the null hypothesis or the alternate hypothesis. H0 is nothing but the null hypothesis. HA is nothing but the alternative hypothesis. So remember this thing, whenever you are performing a statistical test, if the calculated statistics value is greater than the table value, because the table value will be given for each and every situations. So if the calculated value from the observations that we have taken is greater than that of the table value which is already given in the statistical tables, then we should understand that we have to reject the null hypothesis, or accept the alternative hypothesis. Okay, null hypothesis is the first hypothesis, alternative hypothesis will be the opposite one. So when the calculated value is greater than that of the table value, always remember that we have to reject the null hypothesis and accept the alternate hypothesis. So from this equation we have to interpret all these things. Like, see, if there is a regression framework, a regression model is nothing but the functional relationship between a independent variable as well as a dependent variable, right? So I am just giving you an example. Let y is equal to a plus bx plus error term. So this will be the basic linear regression framework. So y is a dependent variable here and x is an independent variable here, right? So let y be the yield of a crop, x be the area of cultivation, right? So the area of the cultivation obviously will be affecting the yield of the crop, right? So and as we have seen, there is a positive sign, so therefore obviously we know that when the area is increased, obviously the yield of the crop also will be increased. So the functional relationship between the area cultivated by the crop to the yield of the crop is given in a regression framework, right? And a will be the intercept term. A is nothing but the yield that we will be having when the value of the independent variable, that is x, is equal to 0, right? So what is the intercept term? A is nothing but the value of the yield when the value of the independent variable is 0. So this is actually a basic linear regression framework. There can be many other independent variables, like area will be there, production will the amount of fertilizer used will be there, the amount of the irrigation will be there, type of the seeds used also will be there, like many independent variables can be there. So here the b value is nothing. This is the basic regression framework, and in order to estimate the value of y or how the x is y is depending upon the x, we have to calculate the value of the b, right? So b is nothing but towards what extent the yield will be increasing when 1 unit increase happens in the x value, right? If 1 unit of area has been increased, what will be the increase in the yield? That will be depicting by beta value, right? So from the observations, like we will be having a sample, and after taking the sample we will be having our data, and after doing all the analysis and all, we will be getting the estimate of this b value. That is nothing but the beta hat value. So beta hat value is the estimate of the original b value in the whole population. In the sample, from the observations, we will be finding the beta hat value. So the beta hat value is given in the equation. So when the beta hat value is greater than 2 times the standard error of beta hat value, then what we should do, that is what they are asking. So here the easiest thing that we can do is nothing but to perform the t statistics analysis, and the value of the t statistics is nothing but t value, t statistics will be equal to beta hat value divided by standard error of beta hat value. This is the value for the t statistics, right? So we have already given that the beta hat value is already greater than 2 times the standard error of beta hat value, so that we can understand that the numerator will be greater than 2 times the standard error of beta hat value, right? So we can consider whether it is 2 times standard error of beta hat value divided by standard error of beta hat value. It is given that it is greater than 2 times, so we can assume that maybe 2.5 or 2.6 times may be the standard error of beta hat value, right? So standard error of beta hat value divided by standard error of beta hat value. So here the standard error of beta hat and standard error of beta hat from the numerator and denominator will be cut off, and we got the value 2.6. As it is greater than 2 times the standard error of beta hat value, it is obviously, we can understand that the value of the t statistics will be greater than 2. According to the rules, for a 95% of confident interval, the standard value that we are taking for a t statistics table value is 1.96, so that the calculated value is greater than 2 that we have already got. And what is the table value? That is 1.96. So anyway, we know that the calculated value will be greater than 2, and obviously it will be greater than that of the table value, right? So therefore we can finally conclude that the calculated value will be greater than that of the table value. So we have to reject the null hypothesis or accept the alternate hypothesis. So the first thing that we are going to do is like nothing but the rejection of null hypothesis. So the first answer will be the correct answer. So the next question, 9th question. Yes. Amongst the following, state the 3 largest rice producing state of India in 2019-20 were. During the year of 2019-20, the 3 largest producing rice states were Punjab, UP and West Bengal. So therefore Punjab is there, UP is there, West Bengal is there. So there were the top three rice producing states. So therefore we can arrive at the answer B, D and E. So the answer 2 will be the correct answer. So yes, next question, it's from agricultural finance person. Arrange the financial and development institutions chronologically when these were set up in India, starting from the earliest to the latest. So we have given with ARDC, AFC, NABARD and RBI. So the ARDC was established in 1963, AFC was established in 1968, NABARD was established in 1982, RBI was established in 1935. So therefore the earliest was obviously NABARD, so D. Then afterwards in 1963 ARDC was there, Agricultural Refinance and Development Corporation, so A. Then afterwards AFC, Agricultural Finance Corporation in 1968, B. And finally the NABARD in 1982, which is the Apex Refinancing Institute in the India, so therefore C. So D, A, B, C will be the correct sequence. D, A, B, C is in the fourth option, so answer 4 will be the correct answer. Chronologically arrange these agriculture research institute according to the years these were set up from the starting from the earliest to the latest. We have done in the previous question paper, that is in the 2023. The same question has been repeated. Yes, the question number 25, how to produce refers to. How to produce refers to, the options are which good and service and how much of each are to be produced. No, how many of the wants of various people are to be satisfied, it is also incorrect. How to maintain the economic system by replacing capital goods used up in the production process. No, it is also not the correct answer. The combination of resources and techniques of production to be used, that is the correct answer, right? How to produce refers to the combination of resources and techniques of production to be used. So therefore the fourth option will be the correct answer. Actually the fundamental problems of the production are what to produce, how to produce, how much to produce, so what to produce is nothing but the combination of the products that we have to be produced, right? So therefore we while we are starting the production process, we should have a target what to produce, what should be the product combination that we have to choose. So that is a what to produce. The question of what to produce will be dealing with that. Then how to produce, in order to reach that product combination, what all the resources and technology has to be done, that is coming in this question, right? How to produce deals with the combination of resources and techniques of the production to be used, and how much to be produced, right? So using the resources and the technologies, in what extent the production has to be done, the quantitative relationship between the input and output comes in the how much to produce question. So this comes in the fundamental problems regarding the production process, what to produce, how to produce and how much to produce. Okay, so the ratio of the consumption expenditure to the income is called, this is from the macroeconomics part. As we have studied in the consumption, a consumption function can be expressed as C is equal to A plus BY, right? And C is the consumption, Y is the consumption expenditure, sorry, the income of the consumer, A is the intercept time, B is nothing but the MPC, or we can say that marginal propensity to consume. So they are asking the ratio of the consumption expenditure to the income, right? So they are asking what is C by Y. C by Y is nothing but the average propensity to consume, or APC. What if it was the ratio of the rate, the change in the consumption expenditure to the change in the income? That is nothing but delta C divided by delta Y, which will be given by the slope of the consumption curve, right? Or it's nothing but B, or we can say that it is nothing but the marginal propensity to consume. It is denoted by the B in the consumption function. So the answer will be average propensity to consume. The second will be the correct answer. Personal income is, what is personal income? This is also comes under the calculation of the national income concept from macroeconomics. So personal income is the amount, we can say, see the options, the amount of income received by the household sector during a given year, the amount of income households have available for spending during a given year, national income less indirect taxes, the sum of wages plus interest received by the household sector during during a given year. So we can say that, like, personal income, national income is an earned concept, but personal income is a kind of a received concept, right? So we can say that the amount of the income received by the household sector during a given year, received by the household system, here the term received is there, received by the household system in a given year can be considered as the personal income. How to arrive at the personal income? Personal income is nothing but some of the factors has to be deducted from the national income. Which are they? It's nothing but national income minus social security contributions. Again, the undistributed corporative profits has to be deducted. Then again, the profit taxes has to be decided, and along with that, the transfer payments has to be added. Transfer payments are actually nothing but the help which is given to some of the backward people or the helpless people in the economy by the government, as in order to stimulate their productivity, right? Like unemployment allowances or pensions or something like that. So those things comes to the personal income, right? So therefore they are not earned, actually it is just without any actual production or productivity, it is given by the welfare of the people by the government. So it has to be added. At the same time, the social security contribution, undistributed corporate profits, and corporate income tax has to be deducted, right? So therefore personal income is a received concept, and the amount of income received by the household sector during a given year can be considered as the personal income. So the first option will be the correct answer. What is used as money is determined by, actually the given option in the key is law of customs here, but according to me, I believe that the answer key was wrong. Actually the answer is government's acceptance of a commodity standard, right? Because like what is used as money will be determined by what actually government accept as a commodity standard, right? So therefore the option 2 will be the correct answer. There is an increase in the economy's productive capacity. If there is, what will happen if there is an increase in the economy's productive capacity? If there is, upon what reason the economy's productive capacity is going to increase? The options goes like this: an increase in the government spending, a decrease in the government spending, which is not having a direct relationship with the economy's productive capacity. Even though when the increase in the government spending, there is possibility for the increase of economy's productive capacity, but if the government spending increases for unproductive things for the government, then there is also counter effects also might be there. So therefore we cannot find a complete conclusion from all those reasons. But what happens if increase in the economy's capital stock? Capital stock is actually increase in the economy's capital stock is nothing but increase in the investment, right? As the investment increases, obviously the capacity for the production also will be increasing. So therefore eliminating the other options, we can see that the increase in the economy's capital stock will be the correct answer. So therefore the third option is the correct. The law of downward sloping demand can be explained in the terms of, as we have seen, we have studied two types of effects, that is income effect as well as substitution effect. Actually, the downward sloping curve of the downward sloping behavior of the demand curve was couldn't explained by the law of demand itself, but still later actually in the by decomposing the price effect into two things, that is income effect and substitution effect. Through both of the effects we could actually explain how the demand curve is downward sloping. So therefore the law of the downward sloping demand curve can be explained in terms of both the substitution effect as well as the income effect. So therefore the third option will be the correct answer, both substitution effect as well as the income effect. All of the following cost curves are U-shaped except, so average variable cost, it is U-shaped curve. Average fixed cost, it is actually not U-shaped curve. Average total cost curve, it is also a U-shaped curve, and marginal cost curve also is a U-shaped curve, right? So the average cost curve is nothing but a rectangular hyperbola, right? When considering all other curves, let it be the average variable cost curve, average total cost curve as well as the marginal cost curve, when the output increases, actually first these three cost curves diminishes and reaches a minimum point and then starts to rise. So therefore all of them are U-shaped curve. But at the same time, in the case of average fixed cost curve, what happens? As the output progresses, the average fixed cost curve diminishes or decreases continuously throughout the process. Therefore the shape of the average fixed cost is rectangular hyperbola and not U-shaped curve, right? So while we are studying the cost curve concept, in the x-axis we will be considering the output and in the y-axis we will be considering the cost, right? So therefore let this be the average variable cost. So this is the U-shaped curve, and let this be the average total cost curve. This is also coming above the average variable cost curve because the difference will be the average fixed cost, right? And what will be the marginal cost curve? It will be having much higher steep than average variable cost curve and average total cost curve, so that it will be cutting both these curves from its minimum points, right? So the marginal cost curve will be having steeper slope than the average total cost curve and average variable cost curve, even though the shape is similar. But still, the another point about the marginal cost curve is nothing but it passes through the minimum point of the average total cost as well as the average variable cost curve. And what about the average fixed cost curve? We can draw it in another graph, cost output. So the average fixed cost will be continuously declining. So it is average fixed cost curve and the shape will be a rectangular hyperbola. I hope you got the concept. There are two statements. The statement one is, on the two-dimensional graph, output is a function of cost. That is, y is equal to function of c, ceteris paribus. Is the statement is correct? It's actually a false statement. Actually, it's something mistaken. It is explained in the opposite way, right? Because output is not a function of cost, but cost is a function of output. If you want to correct the sentence or the statement, on the two-dimensional graph, the cost is a function of output. As we have discussed in the previous question, see, as output increases, what happens to the cost, right? So therefore cost will be the function of the output, right? As output increases, the average cost decreases. As output increases, marginal cost diminishes first but then increases. So therefore the cost is actually depending upon how much output is produced, right? So therefore according to this statement, it is not given properly. So therefore on the two-dimensional graph, cost should be a function of output, but it is given that output is a function of cost, ceteris paribus. So therefore the statement 1 is wrong. What about the statement 2? At quantity smaller than the break-even point, there is loss, and at larger quantities there is profit. So therefore, in order to understand what happens in the break-even point, what is the break-even point? Break-even point is nothing but the output level at which the total cost will be equal to the total revenue. That is, there is no loss and there is no profit. Whatever we have spent, that will be generated as the revenue. So the net profit that will be given at the break-even point, or the break-even point output will be 0, right? Whatever we have spent, it will be regenerated at that point of time. So that is actually meant by the break-even point. So while we are considering the graph of the break-even point, actually, let in the y-axis we will be discussing the cost, in the x-axis we will be explaining the output which is produced in the economy. So therefore this is the total revenue curve. Okay, as we have studied, this is the total fixed cost curve. Fixed cost will not be changing with respect to the output, right? That's why it is called as fixed cost. It is independent of the level of output which is produced. So therefore this is the total fixed cost. So let this be the total cost. This is the total cost because the total variable cost is also added. Total cost is nothing but the total fixed cost plus total variable cost. So this is the total fixed cost, and after adding the total variable cost, the total cost will be sloping upwards, right? And the total revenue starts from the origin, and it is having a positive slope and a straight line. So this is the total revenue curve. So the break-even point that we can derive is like at the point at which total revenue is equal to total cost, right? So therefore this point can be considered as the break-even point. So this is the break-even point. So what happens at the break-even point? The total revenue will be equals to the total cost, and in order to find the break-even output, just extend the line to the x-axis, and QOQ will be the break-even quantity. Break-even quantity. So what is asked in the statement? At quantities smaller than the break-even point. So towards the left side of the break-even point, what happens? There is a loss. There is a loss. What happens there? See that towards the left of the break-even point, what is actually happening? The total cost will be greater than that of the total revenue. So the cost incurred is much higher than that of the revenue generated from the business. So therefore we can say that it will be obviously giving loss from the business, right? So what happens after the break-even point? See, after the break-even point, actually the total revenue overtakes the total cost, right? So therefore after the break-even point, or towards the right side of the break-even point, or maybe in the higher quantity than the break-even point, what happens? The total revenue will be greater than the total cost, which is obviously giving you the profit, right? So the statement goes like this: at quantities smaller than the break-even point, there is a loss, and at larger quantities there is profit, which is a correct statement, right? So therefore statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct, and statement 1 is incorrect, statement 2 is true. The fourth option will be the correct answer. So the next question goes like this. Again another statement question: the rate of return investment ratio gives the net return on capital for every rupee of average capital invested, right? The rate of return on investment ratio, the rate of return on investment, in the word itself you can figure it out, the rate of return on investment. For therefore for a unit investment, what will be the rate of return, right? So therefore the rate of return on investment ratio gives the net return on capital for every rupee of average capital invested. So the statement 1 is a correct statement. What about the capital? What about the statement 2? The capital turnover ratio gives the gross income obtained for each rupee of the capital invested over the year. The statement 2 is also a correct answer according to the concept of the capital turnover ratio. So therefore we can see that both statements are correct, and the option 1 will be the correct answer. Another statement question, actually the first statement goes like this: in the case of mortgage, the legal ownership of borrowed asset remains with the lending institution, but the physical possession is with the borrower. Actually there is a trouble in the statement, right? Because the second part, the legal ownership of borrowed asset remains with the lending institution, but the physical possession is with the borrower, is nothing but a type of hypothecation, right? Hypothecation is of two types. Hypothecation is nothing but a charge which has to be given for the use of it, right? So it can be given for actually movable properties. For in order to purchase some movable properties, when the temporary ownership resides with some others, and for the usage of the movable property we have to make a charge, and that will be considered as a hypothecation. And there are two type of hypothecation, that is open loans as well as key loans. This is actually from the agricultural finance portion. Yes, key loans. So what about open loans and key loans? In the open loans, actually the ownership as well as the the ownership of the possession or the ownership of the commodity or the good will be with the bank or the lending institution, but at the same time the the good is also will be with the bank. So therefore the farmer, whenever he pays off the whole charge, he would be able to get the ownership as well as the physical possession, right? Like it goes like in the case of agricultural commodities, when some money is needed, like all the possessions will be with the lender, right? So therefore after giving the charge only he could purchase all the things, or his products will be given to the farmer. So it is called as open loans. So therefore there the legal ownership as well as the possession of the goods will be with the lender only. But what happens in the key loans? In case of key loans, actually the legal ownership will be with the lender institutions, but at the same time the physical possession will be given to the farmer. It happens to some machineries like tractors and all, because the ownership will be with the lending institution, but at the same time it will be given to the farmer for the usage, as well as from those returns generated he can pay back the charge and take back the legal ownership. So therefore in hypothecation two types are there, open loans and key loans, and the statement 1 actually deals with the explanation with the key loans, right? See, if we are rephrasing it, in the case of a key loan, the legal ownership of the borrowed asset remains with the lending institution, but the physical possession is with the borrower, right? So this is not the case of mortgage, actually this is the case of key loans. So therefore the statement 2 is incorrect. What about the statement 1? Statement 2, hypothecation refers to a legal transfer of ownership of property from a debtor to the creditor. The transfer of ownership becomes void as soon as the debtor clears of the loan. Actually this is actually most familiar with the terminology mortgage, because in statement 2, mortgage actually refers to the legal transfer of ownership of a property. Obviously it is like it mostly deals with the transfer of ownership of some immovable properties like land. So therefore refers to the legal transfer of ownership of property from a debtor to the creditor, and only after the debtor clears the clear of the loan only he could be able to take back the property. So therefore it connected more with the mortgage portion. So therefore the statement 1 as well as statement 2 is wrong. So therefore both statements are false here. Okay, the next question. Given below are two statements. Again another statement question. The loans for tangible property such as machinery and equipment are generally hypothecated loans, right? Machineries are there, equipments are there, and I have already told that in the hypothecated loans we usually the property will be tangible as well as it will be movable properties, right? Movable properties. So therefore as we have given with the examples of a machinery and equipment, we can see that the loans for the tangible property such as machinery and equipment are generally hypothecated loans, which is a correct statement. So statement 1 is true. What about the second statement? Liquidation is the process of buying assets or securities in order to get a better liquid position. No, liquidation is actually dissolving or selling off the properties in order to meet the immediate requirements, right? There are two terms like liquidity is there, solvency is there. Liquidity is for short-term meeting of the loans or the requirements, and solvency is a long-term concept. More or less the concept is same, but the time period differs. So liquidation is not process of buying and selling or securities. Actually it is buying the assets or securities. Actually, it is selling of the security. It is not buying. It is actually selling of securities. Liquidation is the process of selling assets or securities in order to get a better liquid position, in order to meet the current obligations or the current requirements of a business. Additionally, in order to get some remuneration or in order to meet some requirements, the company will be deciding to sell the assets or securities to somebody in order to get a better liquid position. So therefore, statement 2 is not correct, because it was telling about buying. Actually, it is selling. So therefore, the statement 2 is incorrect, statement 1 is correct, and statement 2 is false. So therefore, the third option will be the correct answer. Explicit cost, implicit cost, short run, long run, profit. We have to match the list with the second one. At least one factor of the production is fixed in quantity. When at least one factor of production is fixed in quantity, it is in the case of short run, right? In the short run, at least one factor of production will be fixed in quantity. That is, there will be fixed factors as well as the variable factors, and it happens only in the case of short run. So therefore, short run can be connected with A. What about the long run? All factors are variable in the long run, right? There are no fixed factors in the long run. So therefore, D can be connected with the second one. Excess of revenue over the cost is nothing but the profit. So E can be connected with 3. Explicit cost and implicit cost. Explicit cost is paid out cost. What is implicit cost? We have discussed in the 2023 paper discussion, right? Implicit cost is actually not paid off, but still it has to be considered in the economic evaluation. Like if I am giving my labor time or for my own land, I will not be paid any wage by me, but still that labor time will be considered in the economic analysis, right? So therefore, the next one is out of pocket expenditure made by the farmers to purchase inputs. It's actually a paid out cost. So therefore, it is an explicit cost. A can be connected with the fourth option. What about the implicit cost? Cost of the factors owned by the farmer and used in own production process. So therefore, implicit cost can be connected with the fifth one. So therefore, A, B, C, D, E will be connected with 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. A will be the correct answer. The first option will be the correct answer. So the next question is match the following. So there are different types of market structures are given, and the condition for those market structures are given with the list too. So oligopoly, monopoly, monopolistic, oligopsony, and monopsony is given. So oligopoly, monopoly, and monopolistic competition are based on the number of sellers in the market, right? So in the oligopoly, we can say that only few sellers will be there. Monopoly, only one seller will be there. Monopolistic, actually many large sellers will be there. Monopolistic competition actually share the features of perfect competition as well as the monopoly, but still there will be large number of buyers and sellers selling differentiated products, right? So therefore, oligopoly can be connected with a few sellers in the market. So therefore, A can be connected with 2. Monopoly, only one seller in the market. So therefore, can be connected with the fourth option. Monopolistic can be connected with the fifth option. What is oligopsony and monopsony? Oligopsony and monopsony is actually connected with the number of buyers in the market, right? So therefore, in oligopsony, if a few buyers are there in the market, we can consider the market as oligopsony. So therefore, few buyers in the market, D can be connected with 3. And monopsony, there is only one buyer in the market, just like the Indian Army, right? The Hinduja group and Indian Army. The Hinduja group will be making the machineries, and the Indian Army will be the sole purchaser for it. So therefore, monopsony, E can be connected with the first option. So therefore, A, B, C, D, E can be connected with 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. 2, 4, 5, 3, 1. Yes, third option will be the correct answer. Okay, again another match the following: standard money, legal tender money, fiduciary money, money proper, and near money, which is connected with the concepts of each and every terminologies. So in the case of standard money, there are two types of money, that is standard money and token money. In the classification of that base, standard money is nothing but the money where the face value will be equal to the intrinsic value written inside the currency. So in the case of token money, what happens actually, the intrinsic value will be much higher than that of the face value, just as in the case of our rupee note. The intrinsic value of the paper will be much lesser, but actually the face value will be much higher, maybe 2000 rupees or 500 rupees. Anyway, the value of the paper won't be that much. So therefore standard money is nothing but that money whose value of the commodity is equal to its value as money, just like as in the case of gold coins, right? So therefore the value of the gold coin will be same as that of the value of the same gold coin. So therefore the face value will be equal to the intrinsic value. So therefore A can be connected with the third option. What about the legal tender money? Legal tender money, the money for which every individual is bound to accept in exchange for the goods and services and in discharge of debts, right? As if a rupee is a legal tender money in India, because like if we are offering some money, the citizens of India are bound. It's actually bound because to accept in exchange for anything which is having equal value or the corresponding value, right? So therefore the money for which every individual is bound to accept in exchange for the goods and services and in discharge of debt can be considered as the legal tender money. So therefore B can be connected with the first option. Then the third one, C is the fiduciary money. Fiduciary money, any form of money which has greater value in exchange than its intrinsic value can be considered as the fiduciary money. That can be connected with the fourth option. Actually Indian rupee is kind of a fiduciary money, right? So therefore actually the intrinsic value will be much higher. It's kind of a token money, but at the same time the base of this fiduciary money is nothing but it actually works with a trust. Even though we know that the intrinsic value of the paper currency that we are carrying will not be representing the face value of it, but still we know that the currency that we hold is really important, because the governor has already signed in it and has promised that the bearer should pay this sum for the exchange of the corresponding amount of goods and services, right? So therefore obviously it works based on some trust, because the intrinsic value will not be equal to the face value written in the currency, right? So any form of money which has greater value in exchange than its intrinsic value can be considered as fiduciary money. In fact, if we are considering the value of the paper that we are holding, there is no difference, right, with an A4 paper as well as a currency. But at the same time, it is a trust that holds the Indian citizen together, that the value of the money will be much higher intrinsically, right? So sorry, the face value will be much higher than that of the intrinsic value of the money. So therefore the money value or the currency value will be much higher in exchange than the intrinsic value. So therefore C can be connected with the fourth option. And what about the D option, money proper? Money proper can be connected with the second option. What is money proper? It refers to the actual medium of exchange which circulates in an economy. Actually there will be many kind of things, like there are bitcoins are there, right? Shares are there, promissory notes are there, but still something will be there which is actually generally accepted as a medium of exchange in an economy. So therefore money proper can be referred to as the actual medium of exchange which circulates in an economy. So D can be connected with the second option. What about the E? Last option will be connected with the fifth option only. It just simply refers to the claims to the money, right? It refers to the claim to the money and it can be considered as the near money. So therefore A, B, C, D, E and can be connected with 3, 1, 4, 2, 5. 3, 1, 4, 2, 5. The fourth option will be the correct answer. Match the following. Royal Commission on Agriculture on 1928. So therefore A can be connected with 3. So 3 and 4 can be eliminated. What about the regulated Karanjia cotton market, which is the first regulated market in India, which was established in 1886? So therefore the 3 can be connected with 1886, the fourth option. So 3, 4, the only option goes with the A, B with 3, 4 is the second option. So therefore we can go with the second option by eliminating all those options, right? So therefore A connected, okay, Royal Commission on 1928, regulated Karanjia cotton market on 1886, then Directorate of Agriculture and Marketing Inspection 1935. Then the third one, the fourth one, the All India Rural Credit Survey Committee. Survey Committee was in 1954, right? 1954. Actually it came in 1951, but the report was submitted in the 1954. What if it was All India Rural Credit Review Committee? It came at 1966 and the report was given at 1969. These were most important event happened during the cooperative movement of India. The All India Rural Credit Survey Committee as well as the All India Credit Review Committees. And the final one is the Congress Agrarian Reforms Committee came on 1947. So therefore, the second option will be the correct answer. Arrange the following orders. Arrange the governor of RBI who have served in India in the chronological order from early to the latest. Actually, the chronological order and the different governors who have served the Reserve Bank of India is enlisted in the website of RBI. You can kindly refer to it. So the given options are Dr. D. Subbarao. D. Subbarao has served as the RBI governor in 2008 to 2013. Then Dr. Manmohan Singh during 1982 to 85. Then Dr. C. Rangarajan in 1992 to 1997. Then M. Narasimham during 1977 to 77 only, because in the same year he have transferred to another position. And Shaktikant Das, we know that like from 2018 he is the current governor of RBI. Even though you don't remember actually the years corresponding to whom have served as the governor of RBI, please try to see the order after this one have became the governor of RBI. Likewise, you can chronologically study. Just please note on what order actually this name comes. Even though if you are not able to find some time to remember all these years, because like remembering all the governors, all the years that they have served actually is a difficult task to us. So make a general idea after who have came likewise. Okay, so according to the options like DBC, the third one will be the correct answer. DBCAE will be the correct answer. So the third option will be the correct answer. Arrange the acts and statutory orders formed by the government of India from early to the latest year to protect the consumers. So the first one is the Standards of Weights and Measures Act, which was came in 1956, and the second one is the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, which was in 1954 to 55, and the third one, the Agriculture Produce Grading and Marketing Act. According to this only, the Grading and Marketing Directorate of Marketing and Inspection (DMI) was established. So both of them came in the same year, 1935. So you can connect the Directorate of Marketing Inspection upon the reason upon which the DMI has came was this act, the Agriculture Produce Grading and Marketing Act, and the Bureau of Indian Standards was during 1982 to sorry, it was in 1980. Sorry, it was in 1987. Actually, 1987. It actually Indian Standard Institution was there. ISI, Indian Standard Institution was there. It was actually developed or established during 1947, and the same institution has redefined or changed the name with broadening their objectives during 1987 after 40 years. That was nothing but the Bureau of Indian Standards. So it was established in 1947, and the SEED Act was, as we know, 1966. So therefore the first one was C. Then afterwards the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, so therefore CB. Then afterwards the Standards of Weights and Measures Act, that is in 1956A. Then afterwards the SEED Act, that is E. Then afterwards the Bureau of Indian Standards, that is D. So therefore CBAED, fourth option will be the correct answer. Actually the given answer is B and C both, but actually the correct answer is the fourth option, CBAED. Arrange the following institutions based on the setup year, right? So the T-board has came in 1954. Cotton Corporation of India was in 1970. Empeda was during 1972, established in 1972. Apeda was in 1986. Then the Agriculture Price Commission, APC, but now it is actually renamed as CACP. So Agriculture Price Commission actually came in 1965. So therefore, accordingly, after ordering, the correct option will be A, E, B, C, D. The first option will be the correct answer. This question was cancelled. The level of money income increases if there is an increase. Okay, there are several reasons has been given. Among these reasons, which will be leading to the level of money income increase. So the first option is if there is increase in the price level. What happens? There is increase in the price level. It is actually kind of inflation thing, right? So there will be no value for the money. So therefore the money income will be obviously increasing. So therefore, in the situation A, the level of money income will increase. Even though like if the money income increase also, the value of the money will be much lesser. That even higher quantity of money cannot be sufficient to afford some goods because of the general price level increase, right? And the second one is if there is an increase in the output of goods and services. Obviously, when the goods and services output is increasing also, the productive capacity is increasing, the investment will be increasing, and the money income also will be increasing. So in the second scenario also, the money income will rise. What about the third one? If there is an increase in the price level or the output of goods and services, it's nothing but A, B and combined. So C also will be coming. If there is fall in the price level, no. When the fall in the price level, there will not be too much money income. Why? Because when the price level is going to fall, actually the real income increases or the money value will be increasing. At the same time, if the quantity of the money also increases, what happens? Actually, again, it will be a trouble, like deflation might be happen, right? So therefore D will not be correct answer. So therefore the answer is A, B and C only. The third option will be the correct answer. In one of the following economic system, all the factors of production are owned and controlled by the private sector. It's a direct question. There are different systems of economy. First one is capitalism, socialism is there, communism is there, and mixed economy is there. In capitalism, actually what happens, all factors of production are owned and controlled by the private sector, just as in case of USA, right? What about socialism? Here all the factors of production will be owned by the state, as in the case of the Soviet Union. So socialism is that. Communism is nothing but government with bullets. It's actually an extreme form of socialism, right? Government with bullets. Here we can Soviet Union, early Soviet Union. For communism, we can say China. What about mixed economy? Here actually the private as well as the public sector coexist. The resources will be owned by both public system, public as well as the private. So therefore it can be considered as a mixed economy. The example will be India. So therefore the answer is just capitalism, A only. One will be the correct answer. Markets are classified into perfect and imperfect on the basis of. So they're asking about the basis upon which the market classified into perfect as well as the imperfect competition. So the first one is number of buyers and sellers. Obviously, number of buyers and sellers is actually one of the base. Then the degree of product differentiation, it is also another classification. Then free entry and exit, it is also the barriers to entry. Actually, barriers to entry has been given by the free entry and exit. Then the time lag in the purchase and sale of the commodity, there is no such base. Knowledge of demand, supply and commodity prices, this also is there, right? The perfect knowledge regarding the complete knowledge, whether in the perfect competition actually we are telling that the perfect knowledge regarding the demand, supply, availability, prices of the commodities are there. But at the same time in the imperfect commodity, including oligopoly, monopoly and monopolistic competition, we know that there is lack of perfect information, right? So therefore E is also a base for the classification. So therefore number of buyers and sellers, degree of product differentiation, then the barriers to entry or the free entry and exit, then the knowledge of demand, supply and the commodity price. These are the base for the classification. So therefore A, B, C and E will be the base for this classification. A, B, C and E. So therefore the third option will be the correct answer. The next question is, in a production function at a particular point of resource usage, TPP, APP and MPP are 30, 6 and 5 respectively. The elasticity of production at that point is. So here we have given with the TPP, APP and MPP. So this is a direct question, like the elasticity of production is nothing, directly we can apply the formula, that is nothing but the marginal physical product divided with the MPP by APP, average physical product, right? So here the values of the MPP and APP is directly given. MPP is 5 divided by APP is 6. 5 by 6 it's nothing but 0.83. So therefore it's a direct question and direct answer. So third option 0.83 will be the correct answer. For 8 units of output, AFC is 12.50, ABC is 81.5. Total cost at this output level will be. So we have been given with the average fixed cost as well as the average variable cost, 12.50 and 81.25, right? So therefore we can find the total cost. We should find the total cost at this output level, and the output level is also given as 8. So therefore from AFC and ABC we can find the ATC, right? Average total cost is nothing but the sum of AFC and ABC. So therefore average total cost can be given by adding 12.50 and 81.25. It's 93.75 rupees, right? So the average total cost is 93.75, and we have been asked to find the total cost. What is ATC actually? ATC is nothing but the total cost divided by the total output, right? So the output is also given here. So therefore in order to find the total cost we have to just multiply the ATC with Q or the total output, right? So therefore it is 93.75 into 8. 93.75 into 8. So answer will be 750. So the answer 750 is there. The fourth option will be the correct answer. Here if the cropped area is given 198.36 million hectares and the net sown area is 140.15 million hectares, then the cropping intensity, what is the equation for finding the cropping intensity? Cropping intensity is nothing but the gross cropped area divided by net cropped area into 100. What is the difference between the gross cropped area and net cropped area? Net cropped area is nothing but the total area that we will be cultivating throughout the year, but the gross cropped area, like if we are cultivating like 2 or 3 seasons in a year, we have to consider the area which is cultivated each season. So gross cropped area divided by net cropped area into 100 will be giving you the cropping intensity. The gross cropped area is 198.36 million divided by the net cropped area is 140.15 million, and after doing the calculation the answer would be 141.53%. It's a direct question, it's a matter of calculation, and into 100 also will be there. So therefore the answer will be 141.53. If the elasticity of production is 0.2 and the APP is 10, then what is the marginal physical product? We have done the similar question previously, right? We have been given that the elasticity of production is nothing but the MPP divided by APP. We have been given with the APP as well as the elasticity of production. So we have to calculate the MPP. MPP is nothing but the APP multiplied with elasticity of production. APP is 10 into the elasticity of production is 2. So APP will be 2. The third option will be the correct answer. So the next question is, for the production function y is equal to x plus 4.2 x square minus 0.2 x cube, what will be the level of the resource use corresponding to the point of inflection on the TPP curve, right? So we have to find the level of resource, that is the level of output corresponding to the point of inflection on the TPP curve, right? Where is the point of inflection on the TPP curve? Actually, the point of inflection is defined as the point at which the MPP, the marginal physical product, is maximum, and correspondingly on the TPP curve, what will be happening? The convexity of the TPP curve is changing at the point of inflection, right? So when the MPP is maximum, that is if we are considering the production function, let this be the TPP, MPP and APP we can draw separately. See, MPP increases first and decreases, then goes to 0, then again goes to negative, right? So this is the MPP. What happens in the APP? APP will be increasing, will be maximum, and will be decreasing, right? So this is the maximum point of APP. So what happens? See, here in the point, this is the point of inflection, right? Point of inflection. Yes. At the point of inflection, what happens actually? The TPP, till the point of inflection, the TPP will be increasing at an increasing rate. But after the point of inflection, TPP will be increasing at a decreasing rate. So we have been asked the level of resource use corresponding to the point of inflection, right? So the production function is y is equal to x plus 4.2 x square minus 0.2 x cube, right? The only thing that the conceptual knowledge that we know about is like, at the point of inflection, the MPP will be maximum. MPP will be maximum, right? So if MPP is maximum, if a function has to be the maximum, actually the derivative of the function should be equal to 0. That is actually a rule, right? So for a function to be maximum, the derivative of the function should be equal to 0. So here the MPP is maximum here, right? So first we can find the MPP. So y is equal to x plus 4.2 x square minus 0.2 x cube. So from here, in order to find the MPP, we have to just take the derivative of the y with respect to x, right? So therefore delta y divided by delta x, derivative is nothing but 2 into 4.2, 8.4 x minus 0.6 x square, right? So this is the MPP, and we know that at the point of inflection, MPP is maximum. So this function is to be maximized when the derivative of the function should be equal to 0. So therefore again we have to take the derivative of MPP with respect to x. So it's delta MPP divided by delta x, or d by dx of 8.4x minus 0.6 x square. So the answer will be 8.4 minus 1.2 x, right? Which has to be equated to 0. Then only we can find that the MPP will be maximum, right? So the differential of MPP is equated to 0 in order to find the maximum of MPP. So therefore, after rearranging this equation, 8.4 will be equal to 1.2x. So therefore x is equal to 1.2 divided by 8.4. And sorry, x will be equal to and the x will be equal to 8.4 divided by 1.2, and the answer will be 7. So the fourth option will be the correct answer. For the production function, next question. Too much mathematical questions were asked in 2021. For the production function y is equal to 2000 plus 7x minus 0.02x square, find the level of resource use which would give the maximum output. In order to find the level of resource to that would give the maximum output, whenever you are asked to find the maximum, you have to take the derivative and has to be equated to 0, right? So if the y has to be maximized, derivative of the y should be equal to 0. So therefore, while considering the derivative, dou y by dou x will be equal to 7 minus 0.04x, which has to be equated with 0 in order to find the maximum of the output. So therefore 7 will be equal to 0.04x, and the output is given nothing but the x. So therefore x will be equal to 7 divided by 0.04. It's nothing but 700 divided by 4. 7 into 100 by 4, 25. 4 times 25, 100. 175 will be the answer, right? So therefore the answer will be 175. Assume an asset rupees 4 lakh worth of a tractor with an expected life of 10 years and salvage value of 50,000. The rate of annual depreciation with a straight line method would be. According to the straight line method, actually the rate of depreciation is nothing but the value of the asset divided by number of useful years or the expected life. So therefore here the value of the asset has been already given. Value of the asset minus salvage value. Salvage value is nothing but the value after the good or the material that we are using, the inventory got totally depreciated. That is, it's the scrap value. Salvage value, we can consider salvage value as the scrap value, because that thing cannot be used for the productive purpose anymore. It has been totally depreciated. So therefore the rate of depreciation or the rate of the annual depreciation with the straight line method can be calculated using the straight equation, that is value of the asset minus salvage value divided by the number of useful years. So we have been given all the values. Value of the asset is nothing but 4 lakh, salvage value is 50,000, so therefore the difference will be 3,50,000 rupees, and the expected life is given as 10 years, so therefore the annual rate of depreciation will be 35,000 rupees. So therefore answer 2 will be the correct. The next question is, the interest amount to be paid at the end of the second year of a loan amount of rupees 10,000 taken for 6 years at 12% annum following the partial or balloon repayment plan, wherein 1,000 to be paid every year and the remaining 5,000 in the last 6 year would be. Okay, so here actually in order to find the answer for this question, we have to know what is actually a partial repayment plan or a balloon repayment plan. What is actually a partial repayment plan? A partial repayment plan is nothing but the principal amount has to be repaid in every year, but in small amounts, and in the final year bulk of the amount will be repaid. So suppose they have been told that the value taken or the loan amount taken is rupees 10,000 rupees, and it is taken for 6 years, right? So this just we can write it down. Years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the principal amount that they are going to pay every year will be 1,000 rupees till the 5th year, right? So therefore 1,000 rupees will be paid in the first year, 1,000 rupees paid in the second year, 1000 rupees will be paid in the third year, 1000 rupees will be paid in the fourth year, and till the 10th year 1000 rupees will be paid, and remaining 5000 rupees is there, right? Only 5000 rupees has been paid in 5 years, and the remaining 5000 rupees, that is a bulk amount, right? So much of the greater amount will be paid in the last year. That's why it is considered as partial or balloon repayment plan. So therefore the last, in the 6th year, 5000 rupees will be paid, so that the 10,000 rupees of the principal amount will be paid throughout these years. So now we have to calculate the interest, right? So the interest, how we can calculate the interest? As we know, interest is can be calculated by using principal into the rate of interest, right, into the number of years, right? So therefore here what will be the interest rate? Here the principal will be 10,000 rupees, right, into the rate of interest is 12,000 rupees per annum, right? So for a single year we will be considering here, so it is equal to 1. So therefore 1200 rupees, right? 1200 rupees will be the rate of interest for the first year. Just for the first year we are calculating. For the first year the interest will be 1200 rupees, and therefore the total installment, what will be the total installment? Installment is nothing but the total amount that is paid by the person who have taken the loan. So therefore the total installment will be the sum of the principal as well as the interest. So therefore 2200 rupees will be paid, right? So what is actually the remaining amount? Here the remaining amount will be the remaining amount that has to be paid, or the balance that has to be paid is actually 9000 rupees, because like the first 10,000 principal amount has been paid. So therefore in the second year, while we are calculating the interest rate, we have to consider the remaining amount. In the first year the 10,000 rupees is about to pay, so therefore while calculating the interest we have to consider the 10,000 rupees, and when it comes to the second year 1000 rupees has been already paid, and therefore the balance will be 9000 rupees to be paid. So therefore we have to consider we have to calculate the interest for the second year using the principal amount of 9000 rupees. So therefore 9000 rupees is the principal amount, the rate of interest is same 12,000 by 100 for that year, right? So therefore it's 12 into 9. So it's 1080 rupees. So the question asked is the interest amount to be paid at the end of the second year for a loan amount of 10,000 rupees. So therefore the answer is 1080 rupees. Similarly, you can see what is the installment and what will be the balance. The next balance will be 8,000. Then in the third year the balance will be 7,000. The fourth year the balance will be 6,000. The fifth year the balance would be 5,000. So if you are asked to find the interest at the fourth year, you have to see how much principal amount has to be in order to pay again, and that has to be considered. Then again the interest rate is given, and the interest we are calculating here is just for a single year. So therefore the number of years will be taken as 1, and thus how you can arrive at the interest has to be paid in a particular year. So this is how we will be deriving the answer. So the answer is 1080 rupees. The third one will be the correct answer, and actually the same problem has been given in the textbook of agricultural economics by Subba Reddy as an example for the partial or balloon repayment plan. So make sure that you have attempted all the examples of all the repayment plans and all. There is partial balloon repayment plan, amortized increasing repayment plan, amortized even repayment plan, and the different types of calculation of depreciation methods. Everything you have to study with examples, and you must be knowing how to calculate the values from the values which is given in the exam, the question. Okay, another match the following question. The Reserve Bank of India, here the Reserve Bank of India is in 1935. So A can be connected with 2. Yes, the DIC, Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Scheme, is launched at 1978. So therefore B can be connected with 2, 3. Okay, A2 and B3. The only option goes with like this is the first option. So Reserve Bank of India 1935, Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation in 1978, then Agriculture Refinance Corporation 1963, that also we know, 1963. So D will be connected with 1, and there is a Standard Chartered Bank of India, obviously will be connected with 1858. So therefore C will be connected with the fourth option, and the first option will be the correct answer. Economics of farm production and management can be connected with V.T. Raju and D.V.S. Rao. D can be connected with 2. And agricultural finance is written by A.G. Nelson and W.G. Murray. A can be connected with the third option. An introduction to agricultural finance is written by U.K. Pandey. So therefore B can be connected with the first. And the last C option, fundamentals of farm business and management, can be connected with the S.S. Johal and T.R. Kapoor. So 3, 1, 4, 2. The third option will be the correct answer. Okay, the banks has been given, which has to be matched with the headquarters. So State Bank of India, we know it is based on Mumbai. So B can be connected with 3, and that is the only option which is going with B connected with 3. So therefore Canara Bank is connected with the headquarters of Canara Bank is in Bengaluru. Then the UCO Bank, United Commercial Bank, can be connected with fourth option, Bangalore, and the Indian Bank can be connected with the first option, that is Chennai. So therefore 4, 3, 2. UCO is in Kolkata. So therefore 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Second option will be the correct answer. So the lead bank scheme can be connected with the Narasimham committee, which was Nariman committee, which was established in 1969. So therefore A can be connected with the Nariman committee, second option. And the differential rate of interest was set up by RBI committee. So therefore B can be connected with the fourth option. Then the regional rural banks, which was established in 1975, was established due to the recommendation of the Narasimham committee. So therefore regional rural banks can be connected with Narasimham committee 1, lead bank Nariman, and regional rural banks Narasimham committee. Then finally the Agriculture Refinance and Development Corporation was established on the recommendation of All India Rural Credit Survey Committee, the third one. So therefore 2, 4, 1 and 3. 2, 4, 1 and 3. The C will be the correct answer, or the third option will be the correct answer. Given below are two statements. Accounting income is the procedure whereby the present value of the future income is determined. The statement 1 is wrong actually. The procedure whereby the present value of the future income is determined is nothing but the discounting, right? It's not accounting, it's discounting. So discounting is the procedure whereby the present value of the future income is determined. What if it is in the opposite direction? That is the finding the future value of the present income can be considered as compounding. So first statement is incorrect. What is the second statement? The expression of farm plan in monetary terms by the estimation of receipts, expense, and the net income can be considered as budgeting. Yes, it's a monetary expression of the farm plan, can be considered as farm budgeting. So statement 2 is correct, statement 1 is correct, incorrect, and statement 2 is correct. So therefore the fourth option will be the correct answer. Statement 1, higher the current ratio, the better will be the financial position of the business. Yes, higher will be the current ratio, the better will be, because like current ratio is the ratio of current assets divided by current liabilities. If it is greater than 1, we should understand that current assets is much greater than that of current liabilities. That is, the worth that we are having is much greater than that of the debt that we are having. So therefore it is the much better position. So higher the current ratio, we can say that the business or the firm is in a better financial position, right? So the statement 1 is correct. What about the statement 2? The cropping intensity is expressed as net sown area divided by gross cropped area into 100, which is not actually a correct statement, right? Because the cropping intensity is nothing but the gross cropped area divided by net sown area into 100. We have worked out a question also before, so therefore statement 2 is incorrect, statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is incorrect, third one is the correct answer. Given below are two statements. Statement 1. The selling price must be less than the variable cost of producing each unit of product in the short run if farming is to be carried on. The selling price must be less than the variable cost of production of producing each unit of product in short run. Actually, the statement 1 is incorrect, right? Because the selling price should be greater than that of the variable cost of producing, right? Because in the minimum point of the variable cost curve, minimum point of the variable cost curve is considered as the shutdown point, right? Shutdown point. So if the price is cannot overcome the variable cost, even the business cannot be continued. If it is going below, actually the statement goes like this: the selling price must be less than the variable cost of producing each unit of production in the short run if farming is to be carried on. Actually, this is a false statement. If the statement was like the selling price must be greater than, that is, it is greater than that of the shutdown point price, then the farming can be carried out. So therefore the statement 1 is incorrect. What about statement 2? Sociology. This actually comes from extension part, right? They have coupled the both statement from economics as well as extension. So sociology provides information on human motivation and attitudes. Actually, it's not sociology, it's psychology, right? It's psychology. Sociology is a study of group, and psychology deals with the individual persons, right? So sociology provides information on human motivation and attitudes towards the new techniques on agriculture production and their adoption. This is also a false statement. So therefore statement 1 and 2 are incorrect. So therefore option B is the correct answer. Another statement question, statement 1. Proportionality relationships involve the short run production functions of which one or more factors are fixed. Yes, in the short run production functions, as we have discussed, it was there in another question in the same paper, right? So in the short run, one or more factors will be considered as fixed. At the same time, there will be many factors which can be considered as variable. So if at least one factor is fixed, we can consider the time period of the production process as short run. So therefore statement 1 is correct. What about the statement 2? Scale relationship involve long run production functions of which no factors are fixed. Yes, scale relationship are like involve the long run production functions, and in long run what happens, there is no factors fixed, that is all factors are variable. And in scale relationship, simultaneously there will be increase or decrease in the factors of production throughout the production process, in the production process. So therefore the statement 2 is also correct. So statement 1 and 2 is correct. Both statements are correct. Option 1 will be the correct answer for this question. Arrange the important books of economics as per the year of publication from the early to the latest. So these are the books given, these are the books written by J.M. Keynes, Alfred Marshall, Lionel Robbins, Adam Smith. 4 books are there. In fact, even if we don't know the year of publication, if we know the chronological order of the concepts propounded by these scientists, we can order these books, right? So as we all know, the father of economics, Adam Smith, was proposed the wealth definition in his book Wealth of Nations. So D will be the first. Then afterwards, the second definition, that is welfare definition, was given by Alfred Marshall in his book of Principles of Economics. So B. Then afterwards, the scarcity definition, some improved definition that from the welfare definition came, and it was most accepted as the scientific definition, which was written in the work, that is an essay in Nature and Significance of Economic Service. So after that, C will be coming. And we all know that the macroeconomics, the propounder of macroeconomics, that is J.M. Keynes, has written the theory of employment, interest and money recently, right? After the Great Depression of 1929 to 1935, he has written the book on this theory of employment, interest and money, and it got published in 1935 to 36. So this is the reason one among the all options. So therefore the final one will be A. So even though we don't know the years of publications, simply by knowing the chronological order of the concepts which has been propounded, we can arrive at the answer DBCA. DBCA, third option will be the correct answer. Arrange the important phases of project cycle in order. Arrange the important phases of the project cycle in the correct order. First one will be formulation, right? Formulation, then afterwards appraisal will be there, then afterwards implementation will be there, then afterwards monitoring will be there, and finally evaluation will be there. So therefore for first C, then afterwards E, then afterwards implementation B, then afterwards monitoring A, and final evaluation D. So therefore CEBAD, CEBAD, C will be the correct answer. Okay, arrange the following institutions as per the year of establishment from the early to the latest. First one is National Institute of Agriculture Marketing in Jaipur, which was established in 1988. Then therefore then the Manage, which is established in Hyderabad in 1987. Then NAM Hyderabad, which was established in 1976. Vamnicom in Pune was established in 1967. Then IAM Ahmedabad was established in 1961. And accordingly, the chronologically, when we are ordering, the early one was IAM Ahmedabad. Then afterwards Vamnicom, D. Then afterwards NAM. Then afterwards Manage. Then afterwards NIA, EDCBA. Second option will be the correct answer. Okay, the strategic management decision refers to, actually the farm management decisions can be classified into three, right? The farm management decisions can be classified into three. The first one is organizational decisions. Organizational decisions. Second one is administrative decisions. And third one is marketing management decisions. In the case of organizational decisions, there are three kinds of decisions, right? First one is operational decisions are there. Then second one is strategic decisions are there. Only two types of organizational decisions. Operational decisions are there, strategic decisions are there. Operational decisions are like in operational decisions, the investment will be much lesser and the decisions will be taken so frequent. Those kinds of decision can be considered as operational decision. But in the case of strategic decision, we can find that it will be involving too much investment, and therefore it will be made after too much thoughts, and it will not be made so frequent. It will be only made less frequently, right? So in case of operational decisions, like whether to irrigate the field, whether to buy some fertilizers, whether to put some pesticides or weedicides when it comes, so those things can be considered as operational decisions. The investment is much lesser, but the frequency of the taking of the decisions will be much higher. So therefore strategic management decisions refers to something which has to be which will be including higher investment, and which will be has done very less frequently. So therefore here, what to produce, how to produce, when to produce, and how much to produce belongs to the operational decisions. And construction of building, when it comes to strategic management decision, construction of building actually a thoughtful process, because we cannot actually frequently construct buildings. So it actually needs severe thoughts on it. So therefore it is having too much investment also. So therefore C is actually a strategic management decision here. So therefore the answer will be C only. So the second option will be the correct answer here. Following are the undiscounted measures of project evaluation. As we have discussed, there are two types of methods of project evaluation. First one is undiscounted measures and second one is discounted measures. So in undiscounted measures, we are not considering the time factor, but in the case of discounted measures, we are considering the time factor, right? So we have enlisted the I hope you will be recalling the list of the different techniques which is coming under the discounted measures as well as the undiscounted measures. So in the discounted measures, ranking inspection is there, proceeds per rupee outlay will be there, payback period will be there, net present worth will be a discounted measure, internal rate of return is also a discounted measure. So therefore A, B, C will be the correct answer, which are the undiscounted measures of project valuation. So therefore option 4 will be the correct answer. Okay, the basic product relationship can be, the basic product relationship can be, we have studied joint products, complementary products, supplementary products, competitive products and antagonistic products, right? So of these products, the product relationship which is possible are given among the options. The correct options are supplementarity will be there, complementarity will be there. There is no product relationship such as equivalency, complacency or homogeneity. So therefore B and C will be the correct answer. So the statement the option 2 will be the correct answer. So the product relationship, supplementarity and complementarity goes like this. In a supplementary product, suppose there is product A and product B is there. If I am going to increase the production of A, it will not be affecting the production of B. That is called as a supplementarity or supplement products. What about complementary products? If I am going to increase the production of A, it will be automatically increasing the production of B also. So the production of A complements the production of B, as if we are incorporating legumes in case of rice production, right? So it obviously the legumes will be fixing the nitrogen so that it will be beneficial to the other product, right? So therefore complementarity goes like that. So these of the options, supplementarity and complementarity are the only possible product relationships.